guys, how's it going? This is Dave Sebastian, coordinator of Mentoring Arts Programming with Wayside. I am coming to you live once again from the home studio in Old Shirleytown, that's Shirley, Massachusetts. Today we are going to be working on our Jonah Hex painting. Sorry for this noise, this is my compressor loading up. Just take a sec, hope you guys can hear me all right. So what we're working on right now is our Jonah Hex painting. We're about this far in right now. We started out with this sketch that I did in Procreate, the iPad program, working on the iPad Pro with the Generation 2, with the Apple Pencil Generation 2. Once we finished this sketch, transferred that to the back of the leather. This drawing is about 20 by maybe 30, 20 by 35. Pretty good size. So that was our session 1, session 2-ish, because we're at session 7 now, and these are more like multiple sessions from get to one to the next. There goes the compressor, sorry about that. Alright, go. So that's where we got to on, that's where we are right now. Sorry about that, you guys. So that's where we were on 3, and this is where we were day before yesterday. Let me grab a photo of yesterday. All right, just take one sec. So that was the day before, and this one was yesterday, which is basically where we are right now. So there you go. So today we're going to work on additional layering, a little bit of more work on the guns. The guns have to be, I feel like obviously they're the focus pretty much of the whole deal. So I want them to, you know, to have a lot of personality, and then I also want them to really stick off the back. You know, like give us some hardcore punch. This sketch came. The basis for the sketch came from a painting by Gabe Leonard, really brilliant artist. When I first heard about him, I heard he was a Western artist, but does some Western stuff, but he's way more than could be possibly pigeonholed by saying he's a Western artist. What I find he is a hyper modern cinematic artist, which is how he's been described by some other folks too. Meaning like his camera work and his ability to use colors and forms to exaggerate the perspective on his artwork is really sick. You guys should check him out. Gabe Leonard. I think it's even .com, you know. So that's where I got the pose. If you're ever on here, did the best I could with your artwork, man. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm limited and kind of in what I can do as far as channeling you. If that is even worth trying to do, you know what I mean? Like, but I love your stuff, and I hope that everybody's gonna dig, you know, what we're doing here today. There we go. Oh, that ain't it. Let's try reloading this guy. Over here I have all my reference, and so sometimes it's a serious pain in the butt. Hey, what's going on? One more sec, you guys. Yikes. Oh, am I in the wrong place again? Oh, yeah. This happens to me like all the time. Sorry, you guys. There we go. Cool. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. So before we get into it, let me tell you just a little bit about my programs. Again, my name is David Sebastian, and I am the coordinator of Mentoring Arts Programming with Wayside. And Wayside is a human service agency out of Framingham. they work with adults, young adults and their families, and anything they could need. I first encountered them about outpatient, but they do a huge amount of stuff. They also run a program called Tempo Young Adult Resource Center, and Tempo is where I started in the industry. The first thing we did was build a basement studio at Tempo. My studio is still there, and I run an open studio program there Wednesdays and Fridays from 10:30 to 3 when we're allowed to be in the building, hopefully again soon. The rest of the week I spend on the road, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I work anywhere where young adults might be, youth centers, schools, parks, libraries, honestly, anywhere I can find young adults who might be interested in arts programming. My programming comes from a partnership between Wayside and the Department of Mental Health to create arts programming for the young adults 16 to 26 in Central Mass. We're trying to use art as an engagement method, and to give young adults the opportunity to show their artistic expression to the rest of their communities. I run a couple of different programs, but all of them are hyper social. So not being able to do that has limited us to this program. Right now, I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday here on YouTube, and Wednesday and Friday on Facebook, all at from 3 to 5. If anybody is interested or wants to check out any of my other videos, those videos are all cataloged below us here, I think, to the left. And I think we have about 30 on there. And then if you go over to the Greenhouse Graphics Facebook page, I have probably another 40 or 50 videos on there. So there's tons of art stuff for you if you want to check any of that stuff out. I am doing new work pretty much every week. How it goes is how this has been going, which is I basically begin a project on a live stream, and then we work on the project through the different live streams until it's finished. Since this is session 7, that means that I've gone through a whole week of YouTubes and Facebooks, and now we're on our second week of the next week. So the project kind of keeps going. The hope is that we can get all the way through and finish like the last project we did, which was a Cthulhu jacket that looked like this. Pretty proud of that. It came out really, really great. So we're hoping to do something along those lines, but in a Western kind of vibe. I love Western stuff when it's written by Elmore Leonard or some of the brilliant Stephen King guys who write really witchy Western stories. That's really where I'm looking. There's Two Gun Kid and any number of comic book characters that are cowboys or gunslingers and are tough, and I love those. But it's Roland in the Dark Tower from Stephen King and Jonah Hex that are kind of more of a kind of the darkness of the West. And so I'm hoping with this jacket to be able to channel a little bit of that stuff. Now, this is a fairly traditional scene here, except Jonah Hex is the character, which already makes it a little bit, a little unique, Imagine like the cliche of the stranger riding into the Western town and everyone's trying to figure out what's up with him and what his story is. What if he was horribly scarred? He'd be wearing some of his story on his face, and Jonah Hex's face is so intensely scarred that I think before they'd ask, they'd simply run in fear, and they'd be right. So some sick stuff, I totally love it. For the rest of the jacket, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I do know across the bottom there's a good sized banner of material, and I'm going to reproduce some of the graves from Boot Hill. Some of the graves have some great words on them. They're wooden post graves that actually have epitaphs written probably by the grave tender or the grave digger. So we're going to check those out. Some of them are really cool. One was a list of names murdered in the streets of Tombstone. That says it on your gravestone, and then the 4 of them are buried with one tombstone. It's pretty rough. Welcome to the Old West. little room. Oh, yeah. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to work on this jacket using airbrush and paint marker. One sec, guys. Label up this bottle I got here. And let her dry for a sec so that I can put some stuff in there. All right, so we're going to work on this character and try to continue building it up, you know. As I was saying, some of the other elements that I wanted to add were those graves. And then I'm not sure. You know, if anybody out there has any thoughts, throw it in the comments. You know, like some other witchy Western stuff. Now, originally my idea was to do all American Indian stuff in the gray tones with the airbrush. I may do that in the future because it's a great idea. But for this one, got to find out something that makes it, you know, some scary Western stuff. I feel like today ghost towns and stuff exist, but back in the day, witchy stuff, you know, I'm sure there were like, you know, medicine people and witches, but that's Indian stuff. I wonder about Western stuff, you know. That's why Dark Tower is so significant, but because Dark Tower was taking this gunslinger character and bringing him into this completely, you know, a world that he hadn't made, or it is a totally new place that has honestly very little to do with him, or it's the world has moved on. You know what I mean? Like his place is you know, he's fading into the past as a part of his place. So I don't know why I'm talking so much about the Dark Tower. I love it. You should check it out. It's really good. It's like 7 individual books, and then it connects to the bulk of Stephen King's other writings. It's really, really sick. So you guys should check it out. All right. Gotta move my stuff a little bit here. All right, so first thing we got to do is this is our Eclipse airbrush, an Iwata Eclipse. Really good airbrush, probably the best airbrush I've ever had. I got it from Coast Airbrush in Anaheim. This is a custom airbrush. It's matte black. It's called the Black Ops Edition. It is without a doubt the best airbrush I have ever used. Something I learned when I purchased it is you get exactly what you pay for in airbrushes. You know, probably the most expensive airbrush I've ever bought was like $100. This one's like $150, and it's a subtle difference since I had like $500 airbrushes. This one, though, being slightly more expensive, has made a huge difference. It absolutely works so much better than any other airbrush I've ever used. So, go out there, you guys. Buy a good airbrush. You know, it's completely worth your time. All right, there we go. So, one of the things I want to do first is right now, I've been using a lot of airbrush cleaner to switch colors, and I realized that that's not the way to go. The way to go is to use water to switch colors and use airbrush cleaner just to clean. Because one of the problems I'm running into is that the airbrush cleaner breaks down the paint in the, you know, in the airbrush the next time you use it, right? Airbrush cleaner evaporates very quickly, but the longer it hangs out in there, the more it coats the inside and gets into your next paint. So I'm not totally sure that's true, but I felt like it'd be worth eliminating. So now I have this a jug of water and my jug of airbrush cleaner. So these little jugs are awesome, especially with the point to allow you to get product into your airbrush cup. This right here is my reducer, which I've just started using, and so far I really like it. This is an extremely challenging bottle to get the fluid out of. I pretty much hate it. Made some paint yesterday, wanted to see if it's still in there, and it's still in there. Got a new little mixing tool today. mix it up a little and see that it looks like blood red, but once you mix it up, it looks way more like a skin tone. Which I'm kind of going for a little bit of a darker skin tone than what I have going on this painting already. Oh, damn it. All right, hold on just 1 second. So we got that guy sitting there. Here's our mixing tool for that. Just gotta grab a plug here real quick. Oops. All right, there we go. You guys still see me okay? I gotta set my camera there. All right, there we go. Coolio. All right, so yeah. So let's take a look. We got nothing in the airbrush, and it's mostly spitting nothing. Oops, forgot I gotta make a hole in this guy. Be very careful with X-Actos. The other day I stuck one into my finger pretty good. And it hurts. Right? It totally hurts. Yeah. It'll get your attention. Know what I'm saying? This tank that I'm using right here is super inexpensive. They make ones that say Iwata on it. It's $29.99. I got this one for $5 at Harbor Freight. These things, you know, it's pretty much, you can open it and pour it out, but it smells real bad. And the best thing to do is keep using it till it fills up and then throw it away. It has a fish tank filter that goes in here. Don't buy extra fish tank filter. I mean, these bottle filters cut up a fish tank filter. It's very, very inexpensive. All right. Our paint's falling over. Keep our paint in the spot that I can reach it. There we go. All right. All right. Got to lay out all my junk here so that we are ready to go. All right, we're gonna pour a little more of the rest of our skin tone in here. One of the things about airbrush that I never get right is a little goes a long way. Like you can put 3 drops in here and I'll be able to paint for a wicked long time. So pouring all of this skin tone in here was probably not the smartest thing I've ever done. Literally leave like the smallest amount. And then of course we have more to add anyway. Trying to get this just a little bit darker. Trying to figure out if I think umber or sienna. I think sienna because umber is more of a kind of a green, I feel like. As I said, shake everything really good. I gotta shake everything really good. I'm using Createx Bloodline paint made by Tim Gore. Really, really great products. Pretty much the only thing I paint with right now. I really like them. Made a big mess down the side of the airbrush, pouring that stuff out, and probably wasted some. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put like half a drop, maybe. Got the 1 drop in there. Then we need our reducer. Yesterday I was watching Steve Driscoll talk about 50% mix for him with reducer. I have never used that much reducer, and I wanted to try it out. And yesterday it worked out really, really well. Goes on thinner, lighter. We're not working with the giant particles that straight paint is. This paint, the Bloodline paint, is 100% made to go right out of the bottle. But if you mix it off a little, you know, it cuts down on its intensity and, you know, kind of makes kind of a big difference. You know what I mean? All right. So first thing you got to do when you put some new paint in is get it rolling. I think of it as priming. I don't know, but I bet that's what it's called. You know, I'm not good at remembering such things. I think we need just a drop more now that we've put the reducer in. There we go. My mixing technique is you just cover the cap and aerate. Look at that, this one's not working as good as I felt like it usually does. We got our little mixing rod here, so you can just go in and mix it up. Good thing to mix with is popsicle sticks, toothpicks. I need to get some of those things. There's that. Might need that. If you get a square throw, that means that there's some junk on your needle. All right. A lot of guys paint without this cap on. I don't, because I bend a lot of needles. Oh, look at this. Shit. I'll deal with that later. All right. So I'm hoping you guys can see this. Now I know that the flash on here is pretty significant. I also know that where I am is in a pain. Jump down here. So we're gonna hope that you guys can see this. I really haven't been able to figure out a better way to have less flash on the surface. Right now all of my lights are pointed away, and I feel like when I put them on it's kind of even worse. Oh, you know, maybe that's not so bad. Guys can see that? Don't everybody answer at once. All right. All right, so let's see how looks this in here. How looks this? So what I'm doing here is just adding a little bit of this color, just to help, you know, move in some separation. I added some red to these sections because I wanted his scars to look a little sore. Also, you know, to bring in a little bit of lighting. You know, his hat's going to cover a lot of his face, but we still want a little something else coming out. There's my compressor again. I'm sure you guys can see this, right? Oh, I know, it's extremely close. So see the difference that's kind of happening there? Oh, that's real hot on his hands. This hand is completely covered. Well, since we're working over here, maybe that won't matter. For a little bit. So see, we put a lot of red for some of my underpainting here. let's try over here now. Gonna move our light this way. Hopefully, I don't know, it's extremely hot on that hand. Oh, well, we'll try that. What do you guys think? I don't know if you can see it or not, but we're going to give it a shot. Right. I think these fingers are looking really good. So the problem with having something look good is the chance of screwing it up gets greater kind of all the time. All right. I really screwed this finger up earlier, so it's pretty exciting to see it kind of working out. Yeah. Alright. I need to get the tone down a bit for shadow. So here, it's never too early to try to get the impression of lighting. Because lighting is the thing that's going to sneak up on you the most. It's the thing that's going to be the biggest problem. The problem of... one sec, guys, sorry. My thoughts are away. You don't really want to have to repaint a lot of things for lighting. You want it to be as try to get it in first so that it's not bringing in at the last minute. Sorry about that, you guys. Sometimes you gotta look at your own hand to understand what you want to do. Whoa, that's not cool. Blow out. Blow out. Alright, at least that spot is black, so sometimes that means we got some junk stuck on here. Oh yeah, huge. Whole bunch of junk on there. Oh, look at that. Where's this guy? His face is totally covered. So all I'm doing here is to try to add a little bit of the what would be going on as far as folds and musculature in this left hand. Now that blowout happened, we're going to have to work with it. It's doing pretty good for paint. Good place to start. One thing I don't like here is my white outline, but I think we're going to be able to work with that as we go. Pretty good. I got this hand, that hand. Got a little of the shadow going over here. Take a look at how it's doing over here in his face. All right. I can come in even a little more since we're just working on face, and that's pretty well centered. So you can see how nasty I'm trying to get his face to look. These are my underlines here. Alright, what I'm hoping to get here is sort of like a little bit of some different skin tone since we added the extra sienna here. Alright. More junk on a tip. Guess I am just gonna paint with it off. Wonder if that's that we have like too much reducer or something. Alright. Try to get a little back in here. Spitting a little. There we go. Too loaded in the barrel here. Remember I said don't start over your artwork. Don't start over your artwork. Funny, you find yourself holding your breath. I don't know if anybody else out there that happens. But when I'm drawing, I always find myself holding my breath. You don't want to screw something up just because you're breathing. That's too predictable. Oh yeah, this one's way, way, way too big. Maybe not so much right there. Spill it. All right, I'm gonna try to push this down a little bit more. Remember, always close your paint before you shake it. This is not something I do particularly well. Alright, this time we're going to put in a drop or two of reducer, since I feel like we have a lot of reducer in here. tell you, this is not doing much to change this color. Maybe one more. All right, you guys see this? See this color? This is we need this to get a little darker. That's a little better. Try to keep the wet mixing tool out off the jacket. All right. A little more fluids. Okay, let's see how this looks. Take a look over here, just see if seems to be any difference. Ironically, I feel like it seems brighter. I feel like it really looks pretty much exactly the same. It's a little bit strange, you know, like why it looks so much the same. I am extremely colorblind, and that may just be because I can't see it. I've got to clean the threads on this bottle. They're always sticky. All right, that is 2 drops of black. Oh yeah, this will give us a pretty weird color. Sometimes it takes a little bit after you mix a color to have it show up coming out of the end of the airbrush. Right now I'm still getting a little bit of the other color. Oh, there we go. That looks cool. Let's see how it looks over here. Sorry guys, kind of jumping around a little to try to hit up all these sections. Okay. There's one more hit over here. There we go. right. Now it's starting to come down a little. That's what we're looking for. All right. All right. Okay. This color's working out pretty good. Just a little bit of variety in the skin tone here, a little bit. I've probably watched 50 videos on skin tone, and I feel like I'm terrible at it. Being colorblind doesn't help, but it's also an excuse. I should have figured out a way to work around it by now. All right. So now that we've made this additional version of our skin color, which we have a little bit more there. Anything in here? Still sticky. We're going to pour what's left in the airbrush, which is not a ton, but definitely some, in here and save that. Pull that out water. Mix it around a little bit. Wipe around the edge of the airbrush. Just a cup. I hate looking in there and seeing it dirty. Makes me crazy. Alright, stick it in here. This is the time to be really careful of your needle because you know, this is a really good way to bend it, screw it up in some way. Just some bubbles, I'm guessing. Alright, so I want to do a little bit of hair now. And a little bit of darkness, like a little bit of black. One of the things I'm worried about is softening everything up too much. You know, because it's very easy to keep going back and forth. I feel like yesterday or the other day, when it looked like this, it was awesome, and I was loving it, but it was too shallow. It didn't have enough depth and enough variety of color, and it was too hard. Like, it was too punchy in the head-ish, you know? So that's why I wanted to keep working on it, because I feel like the more colors you add, the more different types of skin tone, sort of the better it looks and feels. You know, we are the sum of a lot of information. I mean, look at me right here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dark, I'm light over here, you know, like there's, and move this, and now it's way hotter up here. And our artwork looks way crappier. I feel like over here it actually looked kind of alright, but let's try that. This particular airbrush is really awesome. It's chromed inside, which means that paint doesn't really stick to it that much, which is really awesome. Let's see, maybe I should try to use a slightly different color. Is this one liquid black? Wicked black. Detail green. Not what we're looking for. Hold on just one second. See if we have another color. Knocked over my tissues. No, that's pearls. How do you get pearls out of here? Another one, right? Let's see. Blue. More reducer, that's awesome. Another pearl. Those guys aren't gonna help me. I have paint literally everywhere. So give me one sec while I take a look. Alright, so we got Wicked Black. I don't like Wicked quite as much as I like the illustration colors, but black is black mostly. Alright, not going to use a lot. Don't even know if we'll be able to get much out of here actually, since I've had it for a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. I'll put it in front of the camera. Alright, so now we need a reducer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's literally exactly the same mix. Alright, nothing's... Not that black would have a problem being mixed by any other color. Alright. Get our cap on. Cool. All right, so next thing we're going to work on is a little bit of his hair. See if I can get you guys in there a little bit closer. So this dude has some cool hair. There we go. He's got some cool hair. And he got some nice sideburns going. Also some medium length hair in the back. We can't do a lot with his hair with black because it's going to blend in with the rest of the jacket. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a little bit of his hair onto his skin, onto his face. Okay. Whoa! Better to lose your cover than to spill your paint, though. I don't know why this guy hasn't been fitting lately. For some reason. Got paint around the edge, probably. That is probably the deal. Well, as long as it likes to stay there, I think we're probably good. Alright. So, starting off the edge. That didn't come out so good. A little too much. thinking now there might be too much reducer, because now it's real thin. Let's try that. Huh, that seems real big too. Just keep trying. Having some trouble getting a slim line. Let's see, just. Come on, damn it. I think it's too thin. Yeah. All right. Just put a drop or two more. There we go. So drop or two, right, is 25%. So that's pretty significant addition of liquid. Not sure why my trigger is sticking. All right. Man, too much coming out and my trigger's sticking down. Gotta get in here for a sec. Getting bubbles of paint remover. There's a couple of ways to take the airbrush apart to get in here and find out why this is sticking. Only problem is they all require taking the airbrush apart. Looks like we got a little paint back there. Yeah, that's still a problem. Why? One of the problems too is you can't pull your needle out while there's paint in here because you lose some. And when you open it up, it's a mess. All right. That is a lot of paint in the palm of my hand. Yeah, nothing like liquid paint. There we go. Making a mess like I pretty much always do. Oh, that might help a little. not great. Totally sure what's happening here. Getting there. Just not 100% sure. Let's see. Alright. Maybe up here is messed up. Another great thing about this particular airbrush is when you take the front nozzle off, pretty much everything is right there. Instead of most airbrushes have this absolutely foolishly tiny piece that you have to clean and it often rips. When you're working with it, it's a huge pain. What to do? There is some stuff stuck on here. Actually, that seems to be kind of a lot stuck on there. Alright. Gotta be careful of your gear. Like I can see right here that there's like 3 inches of crud stuck all over this thing. I keep a really small needle to make sure the hole for the needle is clear, which at the moment does not seem to be the deal. Alright. Oh yeah, that's pretty close. Oh wait, look at that. Got some paint out of there. Of course my paper towel falls over right when you need it. Definitely not what you ever want to spend live stream time doing, which is cleaning your airbrush. But got to make sure there's not too much junk in there or it doesn't work. Unfortunately, airbrush's mechanical aspects has been, without a doubt, the bane of my existence as an airbrush artist. For some reason, I probably have 6 airbrushes I think are good, and maybe 10 or 15 others that are, in my opinion, not good. And it's mostly related to this stuff. Oh, now it's working even less. Alright, we're going to have to go with plan C, which is a little airbrush cleaner. Hopefully that helps us get out whatever it is that's in there. Alright. Now for this, we're going to back up a little away from our artwork for obvious reasons. Still not getting much out. Figure out what's going on. Alright. Able to get little bits out. Alright. Whoa, see that? Oh, this is the kind of stuff that happens while you're trying to clean an airbrush live. Oh, there we go. All right. I think we're back in the game, people. All right. Let's throw this on. Throw our needle guard on. Wipe all the paint off that I have all over my hands now. I used to always paint with black rubber gloves on, but in our pandemic, I didn't use rubber gloves. I used nitrite gloves, and black nitrite gloves have been hard to find. Man, that is at least the third time that's fallen off. And every time it falls, it completely disappears into the ulterior realm. Be right back. Oh my gosh. Really? It is gone. Almost found it, guys. Almost. Pretty crazy. Oh, is that it? Yep, got it. Okay. We back. All right, guys. Sorry about that. There's an odyssey there. Right. So really all I'm doing right now is cleaning up some overspray from our background. Okay. All right, so the next thing that I am going to do is get my reference up here again. Alright, so I'm gonna continue working on his jacket, but I want to just add a little black in the areas where I want folds to go. Underneath his arm here. Oh, you know what? Alright, so same problem you guys have, I'm having, you know, like working on leather is very reflective. And it is a pain in the butt. So we're gonna try to have the bulk of the bottom of his arms be kind of dark over here. Definitely in here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. That is way too hot. Getting there. All right. There we go. Okay. That's looking all right. Now we'll add just a hair of shadow onto his face down here. All right. Oops. Okay. Now we got that happening. We want to back out again. Because now I want to go down in here and think about touching up a little bit here and cleaning up some of our overspray as much as I can using these tools. Unfortunately, that's kind of the reason that the line here is a little bit screwy, and that's because I just didn't have the right angle to work with, kind of. This might be the best I can here. A little better, but of course now I'm like, oh, I need more skin tone. there's not much I can do in this area here. There's some overspray on the back of his hand. I'm kind of looking to clean up a little bit. But I don't want to do the same thing I did to his other hand, which is kind of mess with it. Just wanted to be where I need it to be. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now my big ruler, and my little ruler right here on the back of the gun. Got some overspray. There we go. Nice. Okay. Next thing I wanted to do was just throw a little bit of darkness down here on the other gun. A little black for some separations, which I think will look good. Of course, guns are made of metal, so they're going to need a little, guessing a little bit of blue. You know what I mean? Okay. So then we're going to hit through here. Thinking just a little. This particular gun has actually an opening here, here, and there. Really cool and interesting feature that I really like. There's my little tiny French curve. Where are you, girl? Yeah, they kind of have like an opening there. What I was really hoping to be able to do was to use a tool like this, some kind of tool, to block off some of the background and be able to put in some of the foreground. Too big. I have a lot of geometric stencils that I'm using, but I don't think anything is any better than the French curves here. Right, I have like a protractor, my erasing shield. It doesn't seem like there's anything that's really, you know, like perfect to give me the opposite side that I need. Do it. That's too much of a weird shape. Look what I can do. Has to have an opening like that. What do you do? I'm sure I could do it with a pen. I don't think I have anything over here that's the right size. Has to kind of be the right size for both spaces. So, what am I going to use for that? Too big. Quarter, penny, nickel. Let's see. about the gun stencil. Alright, so here's the stencil I used to make the small gun. Is this the small one or the big one? Oh, that's a big one. Alright, so here's the stencil that I used to make the small gun. This is actually pretty much perfect for how I want it to look. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Ow! See? I'm not good with tools at all. Alright, we don't want this tape though. Remember we found out last time that tape is not good. So we're going to keep all of our tape up. Which is hard because, man, tape is the mother of airbrushing. Oh, I see. I put that in the wrong place. That one is in the right place. Seems like it needs to rotate a little. Maybe even down in a little more. That's looking possible. All right. I'll tell you, there's no lie that it is a challenge to line up a stencil in a new place. All right. So right now, we got black in here. Let's see how that worked out. That was terrible and sucky. Alright, that did not work at all the way I wanted it to. I gotta try something else. This is my idea though, which is to go ahead and... Oh, that might work. The other half of the gun stencil is Jonah Hex's face. And it's possible part of that might work. This is just my masking so that I didn't get... whoops. Sorry, guys. Trying to figure this out. So this is my masking that I used the last time, you know, for that piece. And I'm wondering if maybe his nose might be the right size for what I want to do here. Looks like not. That sucks, guys. That sucks. All right, well, plan C, at least plan C, is to just kind of build my own little bridge. What do we got here? Some letters, other letters. good one. That looked alright when I first made it. Now it looks like crap. Actually, sort of looks like it might work. Guess we need a little spot of masking here. Oh, careful of that kind of stuff. Well, that was a complete failure. Let's try something else. Alright, I can use it as a little shadow. Seems like white was pretty easy to cover. Is this paint wet still or not? Alright, so well, I'm sure you guys can't really see that because of the flash from the light. But all we did was drop some white marker in there, some marker lines to start to work with those sections of the gun. Excuse me. Been trying to keep putting more little bit of detail into his teeth. Right. Okay. Alright. Same with his eye. I feel like very easy to lose his eye in here. Just want to make sure it stays in here. Alright. Just get a little of the edge there. I had a Q-tip, but I don't. is spitting a lot. Just one sec. Looks like this cap is pretty dirty. Alright. Good to make sure all of your gear is as clean as possible, because dirt equals trouble. So all we're going to do down here is push the weight down a touch. These guys over here should be a little easier, because I think the size back here doesn't look too bad. I'm going to give this guy a try, even though I'm not sure. Oh. That's not cool. Not cool. Now it looks terrible. Now we got a big erasure in the middle there. Okay. A little bit of the impression of some muscle under there, a little sinew. Oops. Stuck under my feet. Alright. Got some black. We got it in here pretty good. Damn it. Alright, that's enough of this black for now. Okay. Alright. Oh, getting some paint on me. Oh. Inside of the cap, I'm guessing. The only thing about airbrush is kind of a pain is having to deal with the mess, I guess, and the hose. Alright, so we got that guy out. Just throw some water in here. Just a little. It's okay if there's a little in there because we're putting blue in, and I'm okay for it to be a little dark. Blue we've been using is this expired blue. I think is kind of a Tar Heels kind of blue. Alright, so that was 4 drops. How about a couple drops of reducer? Actually, I got this other stuff over here called airbrush liquid. I got it on a recommendation. Let's see, it says not applicable. All it says is to put it in here. Makes paint consistent for the airbrush. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab our mixing bolt. Where'd that guy go? Okay, I lost it, I guess. That's too bad. I had been thinking that attack would work pretty good. It doesn't because you can't reach the paint with it. I can't reach the paint with it. Oh, I hope I didn't throw it away. That was a cool little tool. Same method though. Alright. There is not a lot of paint in here. So Alright. So now I'm going to give his coat another coat, keeping in mind that we added the black to whoops, look at that. To create more depth in the blue, you know, some darkness and stuff. I don't know how hard you guys are working to see this, but I'm having a hard time. So here we're just putting this color on real light to let the dark show through, because the black that we used here is supposed to create some folds. But of course folds in a blue jacket, so it's not like they overspray problem right there. right. Let's be getting a little low on paint here. Down here we got just our white pen line. Okay. All right. I think we're all set with this blue. Once again, used way too much. Okay. Okay. Gotta get some paper towels on me. All I'm doing here is just blowing it out in the trash. Could definitely use the filter bottle just slightly closer to the trash. Just slightly closer to the trash. All right. So I think the last color we're going to use here today is going to be our friend Old Bone White again. So we will close. This particular container is on its final legs here. If I can even get anything out of it. There we go. Now this stuff absolutely needs reducer. And I would say I don't feel like the airbrush one did as well. The one called airbrush. Yikes. Almost tattooed my finger with it. But if you've been watching, you've seen me do a few times. right, that is too high. Down maybe 25. Under my desk here is my California Air Tools compressor, which I also got at Coast Airbrush last summer. And I super dig it. Alright, that seems to be working just fine. So now we have white in it and we're still getting blue. Alright, so there's our blue. So, white. So, for this, I don't know if any of these guys could really help me. Too big. That's not too bad. Using this Old Bone White basically to push down the regular white that I was using, just because just because it's a little bit too hot. Alright, that brings us in some more white. Working his face. I think over here on his cheek I want to add just a little bit of white so that we can add some other yucky colors. Junk again. See, immediately too much. But that's kind of all I really needed over here. I just wanted... Maybe we need a little more reducer. It looks pretty thin. Oh man. So that's around where we were going today. You know, let's take a look at it without me. All right, so we created some more depth and stuff in our guns. We did a lot on his face as far as like, you know, preparing it. I think it looks pretty good. So I wanted to say thanks to all you guys for hanging out with me. We're just about 5 minutes early to where we usually are. Sorry about that. But in any case, this was the closest I've come in the last 5 weeks of being right on time. That's good, all right? Be thankful. Hardly. But in any case, thank you for being with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all again later. I will be on Facebook tomorrow. Kind of a short day tomorrow with Thanksgiving and stuff, and I realize folks probably won't be around. So we're going to have to see. Check on my Facebook page, the Greenhouse Graphics Facebook page, to see if I'm going to be there. I personally feel like I will, but it kind of depends on how Wednesday evening goes.